Rainy night in Georgia. No, I'm not in Georgia. Hello, boys and girls, kids of all ages. You know, we do these audio podcasts with that intro. It works. It worked for Ringling Brothers. I guess it's going to work for us. How are you? How is everybody? Life after Comic Con, New York Comic Con 28. Life goes on. Okay, this is Tracy Spivey, EggHeads News. Along with me is Mr. Pablo. Say it twice, Solano.
Good morning, good evening, and good afternoon.
Yeah, all the good stuff that they put on the coffee mug. Ladies and gentlemen, we are here with another podcast daily. We see that you guys are listening to the other ones. Even if it's on IG, people are actually listening to it, which we applaud and we thank, and we're very gracious. You don't see us bowing right now, but we're like bowing, like in unison, like in the old 1980 videos with Ray Palmer. She got legs, but anyway, we got a lot to talk about because there's some funny things going on and some good things going on and some sad things going on. It's that 'tis the season to be jolly, but just want to give a shout out to a good friend of ours, a good friend of Egghead Entertainment, Mr. Rene Rosa, who was going to be on the audio podcast with us tonight, but thank goodness there's some great news. He won't be able to attend, but let me tell you something. I grilled him, and I got some of his responses that also he gave me the privilege to also bring on the show, and we can also talk about his opinion and what he said. So that's Rene Rosa. That's right. Y'all know him. Y'all seen him. He's always with us. Comic-Con this year, last year, shown up. Watch EggHeads. Watch EggHeads. Watch us on YouTube. You guys will love it. But so now getting to this point, it's a rainy night in Georgia.
I want to give out one more shout out.
Oh, well, okay.
And this is for Demetrius _Tobin. Because he's always commenting on our IG posts.
Oh, yeah.
And I appreciate that.
Yeah.
And we appreciate that to the fullest, you know,
because
we want to hear what other people got to say. You know, there's some people out there who are a little bit, you know, and I'll say this and then we can move on. There are fans, and then there are fanatics.
Yeah.
We want to talk to fans.
Yeah. And D's good. Soldier. Appreciate him. I'm saluting right now, D. In case you listen to this, you'll see this on YouTube. And also to Aaron, my boy Aaron out in, I think Aaron's out in Ohio. Aaron's always there too. There's a couple of cats always out there. And listen, when we, sometimes we put up these posts, and obviously we see that you guys like the videos more than the posts. And, but we still get the same type of feedback. And, you know, we don't want to turn this podcast into a Mars show, but all the people out there on IG and not so much Twitter, and to all the guys on Facebook. We thank you, our steadies. You guys are always there on Facebook. We appreciate it. And before we go on and start giving out Oscars, let's get to the topics at hand. Boys and girls, news is chiming along. And Pablo, the one thing I just gotta say, for a movie that left us crushed, for an experience that basically ripped us apart, Avengers, Infinity War lives on. You can't tell me the last time a movie has gripped us to the point, that movie's still 6 months away. We saw it last May. There's several movies coming out before that, but we're still talking it's coming out tomorrow.
We are hanging on every piece of news. These are the headlines, and I told this to you previously when we were talking about what we were going to be talking about tonight.
Yeah,
these are the headlines. The footage for the trailer is being converted to IMAX. This is the next headline. This is the next highlight 2 days later. The conversion has completed.
Wow.
These are the headlines. It is so granular that it's like you can say anything Infinity War, anybody can say anything outrageous and people will listen.
But I got to ask you a question. And we talked about this before, boys and girls. You know, we kind of cheat a little bit here. We talked about this before, but I wanted to put it in the public. Do you think the trailers will give anything away about the movie? I'm of the opinion they're not going to allow any trailer to come out to give away this movie, and I don't even think one trailer, two trailers can give away this movie. I don't think it's possible. I don't think it's possible.
This is what I think about that. It doesn't matter what they do. They're gonna give us a dope trailer. Let's get
but will the heads be able to piece it together? I don't think.
Of course,
so.
Of course, they're gonna be able to talk. They're gonna piece stuff together. They're gonna, a lot of the stuff that's been leaked. I'm confident that a lot of the stuff that we've heard in terms of leaked synopsis and already what they've heard from the trailer
and the fan theories.
They're already talking about it, stuff that makes sense and stuff that's happened before in the past. You can put it together.
Yeah.
But what they're gonna give us is something that we've been waiting to see, because we want to see what happens next. Whatever it is, if we're talking about the conversion to IMAX is completed, we're gonna talk about what we just have witnessed seeing. It's gonna break records when that trailer drops. It's gonna break records.
And to be fair, we want to start this podcast out by giving the restaurant's menu, and I think I'm gonna do.
Oh yeah.
We get so caught up in it. You know, guys, we're also fans. Also, it's not just business and making this $1 billion a week that we do. We were good. Hey, Menu Bar, Infinity War, the Disney streaming service, the shows that have been announced, and we're gonna give our opinion, and we're gonna want your opinion. Aquaman, while it looks visually great, Aquaman doesn't seem to be tracking very well, and that's the topic of a conversation that a lot of people are chiming in on. And finally, Ewan McGregor was cast as Black Mask. We got to talk about that one, because there's no fan casting in the world. We put that up on IG. Nobody saw that. So don't even say you did. Don't even try it. Yeah. And finally, with all the stuff that's happening with Daredevil now, and obviously someone put out a report that every show after the Defenders dropped 57% in viewership and ratings. And we got something to say about that makes that statement a little bit impossible. But we'll get along to that further in the show. But let's get back to the point we were talking about when we said the MCU has us hooked. We are very content being in the MCU, despite, we could talk about Warner Brothers, which we will talk about Warner Brothers later. And obviously somebody's actually trying to put together some type of formula that they might be attempting over at Warner Brothers and DC. But right now we're talking about King Kamehameha. We're talking about Godzilla, King Kong combined. We're talking about the MCU. We're all happy with the MCU. I can't even begin. And just the fact, and some people speculated, and of course even D said on IG, well, if Bucky and Winter Soldier are getting a show, and that's not a spoiler, guys. And I'll be honest, I didn't even know that. I've been busy. I've been busy on my Clark Kent.
Mel said that he called it. I've been busy on my
Clark Kent. I didn't even know that.
Mel said he called it, and I gotta go back to the footage. If he called it, I'm gonna put it.
Oh, he did call that one.
That's what he said. That's what he told me on WhatsApp. And I was like, if I see it, I'm gonna go back to the videotape.
Yeah.
If I find it, I'm gonna post it.
Because we good for that. We good for saying, yo, we predicted that. I mean, that's one of the things. It's not just fanboy talk. We think we got a pulse on how these things work. But we're getting back to what I was saying. I didn't see that. And the streaming shows, even though we now know who's getting a show, Loki might get a show, and I love the Scarlet Vision and the Scarlet Witch. There was a miniseries back in the 70s or 80s, Vision and the Scarlet Witch. Obviously, Vision and the Scarlet Witch, the comic book series, might not have sold well. But to put them on a TV show, and you and I both know, Pete, it's not going to be like a regular TV show. They said Disney is producing these shows as if they were mini movies. So we don't have to worry about, and I'm not taking a shot at somebody else's network, bad visuals or bad whatever. I would love to see Vision and the Scarlet Witch, and just the fact that we know Vision and the Scarlet Witch is coming, I'm amped up for that one. I'm amped up for the Bucky and Falcon show.
Oh yeah. I want to see the Winter Soldier. Let's be honest. I want to see the Winter Soldier do his thing.
Because you and I both know they can make that Winter Soldier TV show, and if they keep it at PG-13 rated R, forget about it.
Oh yeah.
That'll be the #1 show. Oh, yeah. If they got them fighting Hydra or AIM.
Oh yeah. We finished with Infinity Wars already?
Huh?
That first section we finished with Infinity War?
No, we're still talking about Infinity War, and what I was alluding to, boys and girls, is that even though, because I was talking about, can the trailer ruin it for us? Even though besides the trailer coming out, do we also now know certain people getting TV shows, but we still haven't seen the last.
I see.
Yeah, do you understand what I'm saying? Is this a problem to people? To me,
nah.
I mean, eventually, no. I mean, if you guys thought that Disney was going to close the Marvel universe at the end of this next week, you're crazy.
The thing is, I think, for the most part, it's even me. They're not going to kill off everybody. These other characters that survive, they're going to have a story of their own, and that's fine. We know who's not getting a show, Cap, because Cap is done. Okay. Cap's is done. Do you know what I'm saying? I think that is going to be the ultimate sacrifice. No one else needs to die. Just Cap.
Hearts. Here he goes.
I'm telling you, dudes are going to come out of there crying.
I don't have this conversation. I don't have this conversation. You listen, let me tell you something. I got a bad feeling. It ain't.
I don't know.
Just going to be Cap. I get it. It ain't just going to be Cap to rip people's hearts out. But just getting to the fact, the Marvel Universe, Infinity War, this next movie, and also the Russo brothers like to troll people also. So if anybody thought that basically everything they were seeing on the internet or on sites and everything is true statements, I don't know. Those guys might be putting out smoke screens. And that's the truth. They said they did.
Oh yeah.
They said they did.
I'm pretty sure they will. I'm pretty sure they have.
They said they were putting out blinders to keep you off.
But Trey, look what it has come to, where they post a picture of just randomness and tell you to look,
and you do,
and people go crazy.
You're like,
and people go crazy.
It's like the Beatles.
And not crazy, not a bad crazy, but crazy with excitement.
It's excitement and happiness, and in contrast to somebody else. But that's why I had blended talking about the Disney streaming service and the Infinity War, because fortunately or unfortunately, they tie in. Because now guess what? Well, if Vision and Scarlet Witch are getting their own show, they're going to survive this thing or whatever's going to happen. If Bucky and Winter Soldier are getting their show, they're going to survive this thing.
From what I understood, the Scarlet Witch Vision thing, I think, is set during that time frame where they were together. Before,
okay, so you're going to say the 2 years. The 2 years that they were, and you know what? That would be a good filler. That's a good show. Yeah. Okay, I got no problem with that.
Yeah.
And boys and girls, we're not even still talking about the Star Wars stuff. We haven't even talked about what shows we're going to get in Star Wars.
But before we get into that,
before we start talking Star Wars,
I don't think I'm talking about it again, because I think we talked about it previously this morning about the number. The last Infinity War, I put out a number that I thought it was going to reach in the box office. I was quite confident that it was going to occur.
Oh yeah, we said $2 billion.
Yeah, we said $2 billion. That was by default. It was going to be $2 billion. There was nothing stopping it from getting to $2 billion.
Yeah.
I was
and everybody
more
else cleared the area.
Focused on the big number of 2.5.
Okay.
I think. Do you think? I know why. I believe it's going to be 2.5 billion this time. This time is going to do it. This time.
My opinion is they got us hooked, and if the last Avengers Infinity War made the bill in only 11 days, which obviously everything that came out of the movie besides Black Panther is a record. I think
a bill in 11 days
can be made within. $2 billion can be made within a month and a half. So we're looking at
I'm
June,
seeing this joint.
the end of June.
I gotta save up.
All I got is July.
I gotta save up for when they do. I can buy like so I can just have my tickets that I know on that day I'm going to go see Avengers: Infinity War. You know what I'm saying? I gotta go see Avengers 4.
Okay.
I gotta save up for this,
but
because I can't.
But from what I'm seeing, June is clear. There's nobody putting out anything in June, and then guess what happens in July? We get Spider-Man, so we don't even get to.
They're gonna put out some low budget good movie.
Unhappy,
so that people,
whoever,
because there's gonna.
If anybody's smart, you stay away from. You stay
anybody
away from
who's big. Anybody
smart.
who's big is smart not to go up against Infinity. Avengers number 4. You know what I'm saying? Everybody who's big, but small, but indie, good film.
Oh yeah, they can.
You can put that up.
Yeah, they can.
Because it's probably low budget, and there's people that just won't want to go, that don't see these movies. They have a niche, and they go get. They'll get those people. Those are the movies that are gonna come out that week.
It'll still be summer. Yeah, it'll still be summer. You could put a horror movie out in between Infinity War and Spider-Man, but those are the films you put out because you do not try to compete with them. So I'll do another genre or put out another Kevin Hart, and you'll make your money, and you won't have to worry about.
You do some silly indie, nothing serious. Look, this movie Avengers 4 is gonna bring you drama. A little bit of comedy, but not. This is gonna be dramatic as hell, and it's gonna be very action heavy as well.
Oh yeah, that's true.
You know what I'm saying? Everybody's gonna be listening to everything that people are saying.
Everything and talking about it and repeating it, and everybody's gonna bootleg it.
All I have to say, I gotta say this one thing. Ladies and gentlemen, if you're gonna go to the theaters, don't bring a baby to the theaters.
Oh please! Oh God.
Please, just don't do it. Don't do it. Don't be selfish.
Don't
be selfish.
Not even that. Why would you? First of all, why would you bring a kid into maybe a confrontation?
It happens all
the
time. It happens all the time.
Yeah, it does. It does.
Please don't do it. Don't do it.
Why would? Because you know what's going to happen, and I'm talking to the people. We're talking to everybody across the globe, but I'm talking to people in this area. You're going to do something. Somebody here is going to say something to you, and you're going to want to say something back. Yeah. Now the whole movie experience is getting ruined.
You can't ruin
it. Because basically, you bought your kid.
Find a babysitter. Find a babysitter and go see the movie. Moving on.
So to wrap this one segment up, the Infinity War or Avengers 4 or whatever they want to call it, and the new Disney streaming service, they're kind of tied in together. Yeah. Only because the shows have been announced. It's not a guesstimation. The only thing is we're just wondering now, will other certain network shows go onto the streaming service? But that,
you know what?
Now my first Renee quote, he's right. We haven't heard nothing official from Netflix. And he was also right. Ladies and gentlemen, if you didn't know this, we don't have Nielsen ratings coming out of Netflix. Yeah. So when somebody says 57% of the viewership of Daredevil 3 is less than how do you know that? Netflix doesn't give away their numbers. So that's something to go, you know what? That's kind of true. So how are you guys putting an article saying this is less than that and that is less than? How do you know? Netflix doesn't tell anybody. Let me ask you a question. That's the one thing weird about Netflix. They don't put their numbers out. You don't know which show is you really don't know which show is a hot and which shows are not. The only thing you find out if Netflix
all I can say about that, it doesn't matter what Netflix wants to do with the shows. If they want to cancel them, I mean, think about this. Disney is their competitor. starting next year.
Yeah, but
why?
Yeah,
but still, why do shows that are dope and then when they leave, those customers are gonna leave with those shows? You know what I'm saying?
Oh no, that's true. That's obvious.
Like let's say in the next week or so.
You have a fan base.
Let's say in a week or so, they said Daredevil is canceled. There are people out there adamant enough to want to ditch Netflix for when Disney comes out because Daredevil is a hell of a show, man. It's a hell of a show.
It is. I mean, we might wind up owning three different streaming services: Netflix, Disney.
Oh yeah,
Disney,
I mean,
and,
at the end of the day, ain't
WB.
nobody getting rid of Netflix. They got just so much content.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
It's just so much content.
Yeah.
But those same people are gonna, if they can do it, they're gonna go with Disney as well because they're gonna watch. Disney gonna have so much content. And they're announcing all these things for the purposes of when that streaming service goes live, they're going to have their few million already signed up.
Yeah. And you know what? Like you said, that is a smart move. Even though the next Avengers movie did not come out yet. Yeah, but let me let the audience know there is a future.
Oh, yeah.
And some people say, oh, you shouldn't have told us that Bucky and Bucky and Falcon survived, dude.
Yeah, I mean,
I understand what you're saying, but this is also business.
Yeah. But you know what I mean.
You know why?
Why these are exciting times is because we have so much to look forward to. So much to look forward to.
Yeah. That
we don't have to look forward to just one movie. We got so much more to look forward to.
Yeah, we got to move this podcast on because my aunt says she wants to get back to her soap operas. Obviously, Spider-Man Far From Home will be the world going back to whatever new path it's on. How do you guys... But we found out a little synapse from Spider-Man Far From Home that the world is still recovering because of what happened in Infinity War. So maybe people saw loved ones disappear and then come back and they're really having problems. How do we address this? I mean, you just pretty much took the universe for a spin.
I have no idea.
You just flipped everything. You know, your pet parakeet was dead and now he's alive, and you're looking at him. Is he still my pet? I mean, I'm not trying to get in the pet cemetery, but like this is weird now. This is weird now. But let me ask you a question. Is this better than Marvel just doing a mind wipe and saying, okay, everybody's still comfortable with each other? But the fact that they want to keep it, that people know that these people disappeared, that is intriguing. I'm not going to lie and say it's not. But then this Marvel universe will be a lot deeper than anybody else's universe. If the public at large knows people disappeared and they came back, and if they leave that as canon, Pete, remember that, Pete, if they leave that as canon, that's deep.
All I'm looking forward to seeing as well that what does this future 4 years after look like? How are people, because I don't know if we spoke about this on the last podcast, but I said that's a life-altering event.
Oh, yeah,
nobody's
that's what I mean.
the same.
But everybody
nobody's the same.
Nobody can be. You'll never be the same again.
You know.
You saw people disappear.
Yeah.
Loved ones, aunts, wives, brothers, sisters.
Yeah.
You saw them go, and however they wipe clean this thing up. This is you still been changed.
No,
I mean it's just the Infinity War, the Russos. Incredible.
Yeah, those people who have been changed when they set things right, so to speak. The people who are going to remember are the ones that were involved. They're the ones that are going to be PTSD, brother.
You mean the people
that survived it and know what happened?
You mean the people that survived will be messed up? The people that just come back, they probably say, "What happened?" Great dynamic. I mean, we could talk about Infinity War, but we talked about Disney. But now another thing that dawned on me, Aquaman looks good. I have no problems with none of the trailers. I'm interested in the film, but ladies and gentlemen, it's only tracking 60 million that first opening week. 60 million for a blockbuster movie. And I spoke to Mr. Rene Rosa about it. He gave an opinion, and I'm put it out there. He said the reason why it's tracking so low is because the WB DC films have a bad record.
Of course.
And I think that's terrible. That's terrible.
Because the movie looks good. WB feels to me like Hustle Man.
Wow.
Like you interested in hearing what he got to say, but at the end of the day,
yeah, but
you know what?
But you don't take him seriously.
You know what it is.
But you don't take him seriously.
You know what it is. You know what I'm saying?
You
might or might not go see it.
Yeah, and boys and girls, this is terrible. But then Freddie, give him a shout out. Brooklyn Bridge said this is their own fault. And of course, we can all jump on Zach. You should have never let. But we're too far gone now. That's 3 years ago. Not even 3 years. That was what.
And I know we're gonna talk. And I know we're gonna talk about this later. But I just want to say it now in regards to this. WB may be the cause of superhero fatigue at some point if they continue to give us bad films.
Oh yeah. Oh no. We'll blame. The public will definitely blame them for putting out garbage. Yeah. And it won't even be Sony and the Venom and these B character Spider-Man. No one will blame Sony. They'll blame the WB. Yeah. Because that's the public. That's in the business they call that's the public perception. You're the one that dragged things.
Yeah, and
down.
I just want to put it out there, man. It's not that we hated the films, and if you've heard us in our previous shows, it might sound like we hated it, but we didn't. We were just. It's not hate. It's disappointment in what should have been. Justice League should not be beaten by Venom. In what world? If I were to bet you, you'll take Justice League every time.
Wow.
You'll take Justice League every time. The mere
Justice League
fact
should not
that
be
Venom
beaten by Guardians of the Galaxy. Justice League should not be beaten by Ant-Man. Justice League should not be.
Justice League should have been a $2 billion.
That's right.
Film.
But maybe it's like what you said. Marvel took their time. They weren't looking for a money grab. And maybe at the end of the day, and I guess eventually we found out that Zach had a 5-movie plan, which, ladies and gentlemen, we didn't know. You didn't know. I didn't know. Nobody knew. And WB kept that a secret. But then Zach let it out. Oh, I was only going to do 5 movies and I was out. While we thought he was universe building. And we come to find out that he wasn't. Holy Hannah. Are you serious?
This is what happened. But check this out.
So,
it wasn't successful. Now they're changing things up. They're moving dates around. They're doing reshoots. I think they're planning something. They're planning a connected sort of situation, I think.
Well, the word that I said was going to bring up is that maybe these WB DC films will adapt the Greg Berlanti's formula for the TV shows and have a multiverse that we'll see 3 different people play the Joker, 4 different people play Batman. And I just think that the public will just have to decide if that's what they want. If that's what they want.
That's gonna be whack. I just want to say this about Aquaman.
Mm-hmm.
And this is just how I feel. When I first saw it, I was like, oh snap, this is... The more
it looks great.
The more he speaks, the more Jason Momoa speaks, the less interested I'm in it. I like the visuals.
Wow.
I'm going to see how they do this. I'm going to see it for that. I'm going to go out of curiosity, not out of excitement.
Okay.
He just looks like a character that I've seen dozens of times.
Okay. Like the old stick they used to put on Keanu Reeves. He's the same guy in a different movie.
I don't even think Aquaman should have been an origin film. This shouldn't have been an origin sort of thing. He should have been king of Atlantis already.
You know, this podcast is great, and just to rehash what we said, and now I want to go into the items that we had mentioned before. Sorry for that pause. Ladies and gentlemen, Ewan McGregor as Black Mask, that's not, and somebody told me I use this term all the time, I guess growing up playing baseball, a different generation. That's it. Is that a home run? Look at that. I'm asking somebody else. Is that a home run? I mean, he's the big name. He's Obi-Wan, but Black Mask?
I think.
I mean, I'm looking for help here. Like, is this?
I think Ewan McGregor.
Hey, guy, is this a good thing?
What was his biggest role? I think
Obi-Wan.
Exactly.
Oh no, Warner Brothers wanted a name. Warner Brothers wanted a big name to help sell Birds of Prey.
I don't know if he can pull it off. I'm curious to see it.
Yeah,
I'm curious to see. I'm curious to see. Hopefully, it's a Heath Ledger performance.
Well, to me, and this is a really quick, brief synapse, and I think everybody who's watched any Batman iterations, whether it's the video games, Batman Arkham Asylum, whatever, the TV shows, Justice League, whatever. Out of the Batman's Rose Gallery, obviously, you don't mess with the Joker. He's insane. You don't even do a deal with him. Penguin, you never trust the Penguin. Why? Because Penguin's got some personal conflicts that you would never trust him if you're going to do business with him. Riddler's only interested in games. And he's not. Riddler's a funny character. He's really not he's interested, but not really interested in the money. No. Two-Face is crazy, but if he flips that coin and it's in your favor, he will honor it. But if he flips the coin and he says shoot you, he'll shoot you. But that's what you have to deal with. Black Mask is different. Black Mask is the only relatable. I know this sounds crazy. Black Mask is the only relatable criminal that a regular person could relate to, other than the nuts and maniacs that Batman usually deals with. Black Mask, and then I'm looking at Ewan McGregor. Oh yeah, but he's got a bad attitude. But he's no Joker, because Black Mask even knows Joker's crazy. Yeah. He doesn't even mess with him. Okay, but you know what? This is still supposed to be Harley's movie. This is still supposed to be Margot Robbie's all-girls team going after Black Mask movie. This is where they have to pull this off. This can't look like another Suicide Squad where we can say lightning strikes in a bottle. How did that movie make so much money?
It'll be interesting.
How?
I mean,
Suicide Squad was terrible. You liked the characters, but that movie didn't flow. It didn't, But at the end of the day, Birds of Prey, whether Ewan McGregor's in it or not, this is supposed to be Margot Robbie's movie. Let's see if she can distract or if she can carry the film as Harley Quinn. And once again, Warner Brothers, we're going to get a Harley Quinn show on the DC Universe online streaming. You feel, and I feel the same way, you can't have 3 and 4 different Superman, Batmans running around. Right now, fortunately, we only got one Wonder Woman.
I'm telling you.
But I'm sure if Greg Berlanti can, he'll do that too.
The fatigue is going to set in.
Why? Because of what?
Because I can't watch 4 different Supermans or 4 different Supergirls or 3 different Harley Quinns. Or I can't do it.
Yeah.
I can't do it.
It's too much.
I can't do it.
We'll give that. You're right. It is a little bit too much. It's too much. Like you said, there's 2 different Harley Quinns. Yeah, you got Margot Robbie, and then on DC Online, they're about to do 3 Jokers. 3 Jokers, because there's probably gonna be a Joker on the Harley Quinn show. But to all the general audiences out there that's listening to black podcasters, you have to decide whether this is too much for you. Remember, back in the day, there weren't 3 Lone Rangers. There weren't You had Adam West as Batman. There wasn't another show on another network. You didn't have 2 or 3 Bionic Men running around. ABC had the Bionic Man. That was it.
And the Bionic Man, I grew up on. I used to love watching the Bionic Man.
Oh no, Bionic Man was a man.
It was a $6 million man, right?
Was
$6 million man, right?
$6 million man. And back in the day, boys and girls, that was a lot of money. Today, you got to get your house and a car, and you can't quit your job.
You ain't getting no bionic arm in those $6 million.
Yeah, you ain't getting no bionic. So I guess that's where we are with this podcast, and we will be shooting an episode next Friday. That's right, boys and girls. We're going back behind the cameras again, despite the protests and the picket signs. We will be going back behind the cameras, and we're going to bring some friends that you saw from New York Comic Con with us, and we're going to talk about, obviously, the news of the day. I think right now we're in a great place. This is, quote, the golden age. And boys and girls, I'm really looking forward to, and P, you tell me, there's a lot more information coming out about a lot of other projects that just haven't hit. One of the projects that is almost at the production stage, I heard, is the Green Lantern Corps. And not corpse, the dead person, like core, like, come on, guys, help, work with me. Jeff Johns is really grandfathering, the Green Lantern. And who should be Green Lantern? Who should be Kyle Rayner? Who should be Guy Gardner? And who should be, say it, Pete, John Stewart? We'll see. I think to turn the DC films around, Green Lantern could lead the way, since right now you don't have any Superman movies in the fold. You're doing this
I got the perfect John Stewart.
Batman movie.
I got the perfect John Stewart.
Oh, here we go.
The perfect John Stewart.
Here we go. You want to save it for the show, or you want to put it on audio? You want to save it for the show?
No, I'll save it.
I don't even know.
Now.
I had the
guy from This
John
Is Us.
Stewart.
The guy from This Is Us. The guy that played. You want him
to be John Stewart?
Huh?
You want him to be John Stewart?
You know why? Because he's just like Benedict Cumberbatch. He steals the scenes. He has good presence.
You don't mind that the show still might be a old school Lethal Weapon buddy cop movie, but only they're the Green Lantern Corps? And the Green Lantern Corps,
as long as they don't make it silly.
You don't have to worry about an origin,
As long as they don't make it silly. Don't make it
silly. Guardians of the Galaxy
can
silly.
Have humor. The humor's fine, but it can't be a comedy.
Okay,
you know what I'm saying? It can't be a comedy.
But
one of the
Green Lantern,
one of the things that have gotten us, especially after Infinity War and some of the other better films like Winter Soldier, Civil War, whatever.
Yeah, Marvel's changed the game.
Yeah, you feel the stakes. The stakes are high. I don't think films that don't make you feel that the stakes are high are, like with Deadpool, I don't feel that the stakes are high. This is just an entertaining film. That's it. That's just it. Just like Suicide Squad. I don't feel that the stakes are high. They tried to make the stakes high, saying that she was a sorceress from another dimension. But then if she was, where was Superman? Where was Batman? And where was Wonder Woman? Yeah. Why would you need a bunch of criminals if the stakes were that high? Yeah.
We can. Yeah. That only makes sense, right? You didn't use the 18, but at that point in time, they said, "Oh, that's right. Suicide Squad was after, so Superman was dead. So why you still didn't try to recruit Batman and Wonder Woman to take down?"
Suicide Squad was Suicide Squad. They hired Will Smith. Will Smith. Will Smith is the same thing. He has that presence on screen. He can act. He can act.
Yeah. He took the Deadpool character. He took the Deadshot character, and now the most generation will think that Will Smith is Deadshot, even though that's not the character in the book. But okay. And a quick thing to how you still feeling about Captain Marvel? Is Infinity War overshadowing it?
No.
Or do you still think we really want to know about the Kree and the Skull and the Skrulls?
It is an introduction.
Yeah.
to the person.
To Marvel Cosmic.
No, not necessarily that, but it's the introduction as to why they need her.
Okay.
So that we care about her in Avengers 4.
She's pivotal.
So that we care about her. Pivotal. There's too much going on for her to to show up just in Infinity War. You know what I'm saying? Without seeing this movie first.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? You can't introduce nobody. Nobody gonna really care about you that much.
Yeah. Now, how do you feel? And we just doing random things right now, boys and girls, before we close it out. How you guys feel? You guys comment below once we start posting this audio. Nick Fury is going to be back in the fold. They didn't say what apparatus, whether he'll be S.H.I.E.L.D. or not, but Nick is going to be on some of the streaming shows. Nick is now in Far From Home, and Nick will be in Black Panther 2. That was actually confirmed. How do you feel about Sam Jackson now being a focal point of the MCU, and does that mean
I'll say this:
Tony Stark's no longer around?
And I'll make this comparison. Nick Fury is similar to Kingpin in that he is a master manipulator in a good way. He does what he has to do for the good. Whereas,
and they seem to be connecting everybody to him.
Yeah, so it'll be interesting.
It doesn't come back to Tony; it comes back to Nick.
It'll be interesting to see how he does what he does and how he does it and how he's able to do it. Because it was brilliantly done with the Kingpin. Even though you knew what was happening, you were like, "Wow!" You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You understood why it worked.
Oh no! I mean, on that show, that which once again, I didn't even give it a 5 stars. I gave it an Emmy nomination. That show, Daredevil season 3 is just this is what it's all about. This is what it's all about. And if Nick Fury is the focal point of the MCU and he'll be on the streaming shows, boys and girls, I don't see where this is a bad thing. I don't. Does that mean they're bringing Coulson back? I don't know. I don't know what's going to happen to the show on ABC. Have no idea. More than likely, boys and girls, Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. is going to get canceled. So, Phil Coulson had a good run from that first, from Iron Man 2. From Iron Man 1. Not for nothing, when he first came on there, he kept trying to talk to Tony. That's classic now. That's history now. He said, "This is not my first rodeo." Who would have known 10 years later? Wow.
I'm telling you, man, the way they put pieces together.
The Marvel universe, the Marvel universe was something to behold, boys and girls.
They hint at the past so that you think about it.
Yeah.
And then they make a movie.
And then once again, see, this is why we'll never stop talking, boys and girls. The fact that they're going backwards and filling in slots of the history is awesome.
Yeah.
Some of the films will continue in present day going forward, but a lot of the projects get to go back in time. So now when you look at Iron Man 1 again, maybe 10 years from now and watch Nick Fury say, "You think you're the only?" It now has so much gravitas because you'll tell Tony, he's right. The Eternals came before you, Captain Marvel came before you. They might even do an Invaders. I keep saying that.
I think it'll be interesting. I think it would be interesting for when this is all said and done. Avengers 4 is done. Right?
Okay.
To go back and watch it from the beginning, from Iron Man, to watch it. I'm pretty sure.
Well, it won't be Iron Man anymore. It'll be Captain. Right now, Captain Marvel.
No. I'm talking about watching. I'm talking about watching the first film just to hear the dialogue.
Okay.
And pick up on stuff.
Okay. Yeah, to say you didn't know what was about. Yeah.
All that stuff that said you can put stuff together, it reminds you of something that happened. If you're watching it the way people are watching it. People are watching it not only once, twice, but they're watching it 3 or 4 times, taking notes, breaking it down, doing all this other stuff, making videos. That's why people are becoming popular.
Yeah.
Because there are dudes out there that dedicate time to this, and they put it out there, and people listen because they don't have time to do all of this. Somebody else is doing it.
Yeah, and you say, Tony, remember that first suit you made in the cave? Imagine going up against Thanos and that. He'd probably be like, oh, my God. Reminiscing. It's like, yeah. Can you imagine that? Going up against... And to talk about the next Avengers before we wrap it up.
I got one more thing. To ask you, but go ahead.
Ant-Man and Doctor Strange, to me, from what I'm seeing through all the smoke and mirrors and everything else that's going on, Ant-Man and Doctor Strange are going to be important.
Oh yeah.
I mean, I can't say that enough. Somebody asked me, what do you mean, Trey? Don't you see? What's staring at you right in your face? Ant-Man and Doctor Strange are going to be important, very important in this next movie. Now, like you said before, I don't know how this movie ends. And here's another thing. I'm not even interested in trying to spoil it for myself. I'll sit back and wait, and I hope I hope Disney realized you have to release this movie, has to be released globally the same day. You cannot give one part of the world a head start.
Would it be fair to say that Doctor Strange and Ant-Man is to Adam Warlock and Silver Surfer?
Yeah, basically, yeah. That's the comparison. Yes. If the guys that's out there listening, my aunt, if you read the story in the book, yeah, there's comparison. The one character we both said, and everybody said, I even asked my brother, who's Mephisto? They said, Trey, they didn't use a Mephisto. They didn't use that person that would go around with Thanos, egging him on to do something stupid so they could take advantage of him. So hasn't anybody noticed that? They don't have that. So yeah, there's no Mephisto. Listen, we all thought it would be Loki. That Loki would be the Mephisto. Yeah. Nope, it wasn't.
We were okay with it. We were okay with it because Thanos wasn't. He's not. It's silly in Infinity Gauntlet.
Okay.
Why he was doing what he was doing, but it was dope.
Who, Mephisto?
The reason why Thanos was doing what he was doing.
Thanos was doing in the comic book made no rational sense. Yeah. Like, dude, if you control this entire universe, why are you parading around
like he's trying to impress
child,
Lady Death, and he do it for love? Like, really, like nobody really believes in that much. You know what I'm saying? Like, you're doing it for love. Get out of here with that.
Yeah.
This makes more rational sense, and you're like, I understand why he's doing it. I think one thing we'll get from the books.
One thing we might get from the books is that Nebula grabs the gauntlet and she fixes herself.
Oh yeah,
she'll no longer
because that was a moment. Robotic. That was a moment in the comic book.
That was a moment, and people might say, "Oh, Trey, you think that way?" I think Nebula is going to become the actress Karen Gillan with hair and not be messed up, but she might still have blue skin. She might still have blue skin, but she'll be like a real woman again. Not half robot and mechanical, and her face is in patches like a broken up Frankenstein. I think she's gonna be like blue. Yep. And how
that was a moment. That was a moment. That was a moment.
That was a moment in the books when Nebula fixed herself.
We're definitely going to see that.
That was a moment. All right, boys and girls, we're going to wrap this one up. And like I said, we got a show coming up pretty soon. We're going to go back behind the cameras. I'm going to go into batters. I'm going to go into pitching cave, start throwing pitches. And we're going to have a good show coming up. Friday, we're going to tape. I hope, unless something crazy else happens after the elections and the studio is gone. But other than that, we should be in there. We're going to put something together, put it in the oven. Pablo's going to put some seasoning on it, and we should have a good show. And we're real excited to have Emilio on the show. I mean, that was good the way that worked out, and I think you guys are gonna like him. And once again, watch me do this little pause delay. Okay, there it was. Now we can start. I don't know how Pablo's going to chop up this stuff and put it in the oven, but he's going to put some salt and pepper on it. And we see you soon. As I said before, we got some, we're going to be taping. We're going to go behind the cameras by the end of the next week. And we'll get that one out to you and put it on YouTube.
Yeah, and ladies and gentlemen, so, please subscribe, comment. Most importantly,
yes,
even if you don't subscribe, just at least comment. Tell me what you think. And let's keep it civil.
Yeah, because you know what I'm saying? We're going to Comic Cons and everybody's telling us how great we are.
Yeah.
Yo, people, we're going to Comic Cons and people telling us how great we are. Well, then, man, click the button.
Yeah. Just give you.
Don't tell me how great I am. Click the button. So I'm gonna sign off for now. Renee, congratulations. I'm happy for you, brother. We were pulling for you. We were pulling for you, and we're just glad that the turnaround didn't take that long. That's what we kind of really glad at. P, any last words other than your last words? Iron Fist, yeah, we were disappointed. And I didn't even talk about Jessica Jones or Daria or MTV's Daria.
I'll say this about Jessica Jones. Jessica Jones was dope. I liked both the seasons, but if it never came back, I wouldn't miss it.
Wow. And ladies and gentlemen, that's why y'all watch EggHeads. That's why y'all watch and listen to EggHeads. We tell y'all the truth. We tell you what you're thinking, but you just won't say. We said it. We just said it. So this is Tracy Spivey with Pablo Solano, and we're going to sign off. And as we always say and everything, go to the movies.